Well, that's that, you guys. Second defeat in a row. And disappointingly, another poor performance. For me, can we be surprised by this? Is this the first time that we've seen like a very mute attacking game? No. If we cast our minds back to the end of last season, we were starting to get found out quite a bit. And of course, last season, we picked up many a draw against teams like Juventus who look to sit deep, park the bus, and are happy to play without the ball. You know, they protect their defense. They have numbers, they're compact, they keep themselves positioned very centrally as well to force us to play wide. And why is that? Well, it's because they know that we absolutely offer no pacing behind. That is the reality. With how we play with the cams, the cam is picking up those spaces in the channels, just in front of the wide centre backs of the opposition teams, playing in the half spaces, to really create some movement, some spaces. You need wing backs with that ability to run in behind, to time their runs as well, to stretch opposition teams. You want to drag the opposition fullback away to create space between the lines. That's how it is. That's how it goes. And for me, can we really say that we look to win the game when we're not making those brave calls and decisions to do what we need to do to get this system working? Because my God, you guys, it's starting to slightly feel like, we're quite predictable at this point in time. And it's not the first time, when the game's open, when teams give us space, you really see the system come to light and it looks brilliant. Players know when to run, where to move into space. Everything's very mechanical in that sense. There's like a synchronicity to how everything is. But the moment we play against teams who sit deep, and of course this season we're going to see a ton more of this, and that's because we're European champions. Well, for me, and it's what I've been saying for like literally the past 12 months now, we need to have that plan B. I'm sorry, I personally feel like we have too many good attacking players that cost us a ton of money. Spending like 50 mil on Werner, like nearly 40 on Ziyech, 72 on Kai. I mean, you can go on. We're turning down bids of 70 mil for Hudson-Odoi as well. And yet, what do any of them really bring to the team? Do we see that consistent goal threat? Those like consistent move sets and skill sets that you see where, they're in like goal scoring situations? Absolutely not. And, I look at someone like Kai today and I'll touch upon him in greater detail, but am I even that surprised that he's missing opportunities? I mean, how often when he's playing in the system is he getting like a consistent supply of chances that don't feel improvisational? Like most times when you see players from other teams in attacking systems, it's not like they're scoring all the goals from like improvised situations and moments. No, there's like that pattern of play. There's the, the game plan that produces very easy chances for these guys to bury. And I look at our attacking guys and I just feel like it's always like a struggle in that sense. I look at Hakim Ziyech. I'm sorry, Ziyech is a guy that receives the ball out wide. That's his game. That's always been his game. To play as a cam, making runs and behind, looking to move into space, that is just greatly diminishing his talents. I'm looking at players like Timo Werner as well. I mean, maybe I'm not going to use them as an example right now, but moving on to other guys as well, such as your Kai Havertz's. I think finally now that the magic of that Champions League final goal has gone away and the hype of obviously that securing the signing of such a great player to begin with has finally died down, I feel like a lot of people have really seen this game for what it is. And, I definitely feel like there's a discussion to be had here. I don't, you guys know me, I don't agree with like these simple takes of, crap, goods, shit, this, like, nah, man, there's always reasons behind it. And I feel like, okay, there's certain things I'm not seeing from Kai anymore. With Kai Havertz, we know that he's very good offensively, not just for his ability to score goals, but his creativity. And I'm just thinking, when's the last time I've seen Havertz really assist anyone? And when's the last time I've seen him even display that part of his game? A lot of times playing in the system, and this is the thing, you guys, these guys are playing in a system set up by the manager and they follow the rules and they do what they have to do. That's how football works. I see Kai in the system constantly making runs, away from the ball, which he can do, but it's got to be a bit more. It's got to be a bit 50-50. And of course, last season when he plays the false nine, I thought that was a good balance of everything Kai Havertz. Let him drop deep when he has to, let him lead the line when he has to. I felt like there was potential there for that. But of course, once we signed Lukaku, that put an end to things. And it feels a little bit like, where is Kai's place in this team right now? Personally, I feel like he needs like another sporting player with him. The best I've seen them play was, the link-up play with Hakim Ziyech. But, when we're constantly chopping and changing, the attack game by game, when there's, the players aren't really building that understanding of relationships consistently because, there's like a limited space up front for these guys to compete in. And of course, they're always playing with different teammates every single week. Is this a surprise? And, going back to my point, we spent, what, $250 million? Like over $250 million signing a new attack. And you look at the numbers, you look at the stats. Can we really say that money was justified? Can we really say that investment has come through? No. And, this is why football is a sport I absolutely love because, there's not just simple answers. At the same time, I completely get what Tuchel did and he made the right call. I mean, come on, we won the Champions League and we'll always be indebted to Tuchel for doing that. Made the brave calls and, brought in a system that was going to help us get back to winning, which we did. But I just think now for this season, we've got to think of the bigger picture. The bigger picture now, how are we going to go to the next level and improve? And I do feel like, we have to see a bit more changes in the team right now, you guys. But, there's some of my observations about how I felt about the game. I feel like I wanted to give my thoughts on that because, for me, Juventus were by far the better team throughout and the most comfortable. And it gets me thinking about the quotes and comments made from Chiellini, where, he was basically talking about how confident he felt going in and how Juventus were destined to win. It's not the first time he's done that. And of course, I'm going to put my hands up. When Chiellini speaks, a guy that knows the game inside and out, one of the greatest defenders of his generation. Now, I'm going to start listening now, man, because he's been there, he's done that, he's seen these games a million times. And of course, what does that tell you? That the Juventus players were so confident about, their game plan for us. For example, I think their lineup was leaked many hours before, very, very early. And we all knew they were playing like 4-4-2 from yesterday. So they felt very confident watching how they played against us. They really were creating havoc against our back three at times. Chiesa, his move, timing with the run, sensational. Those diagonal runs where he's like, positioned between, the two centre backs and makes the diagonal run to like where the third one is. Constantly stretched us time and time again. And of course, was able to allow Juventus, support him and push men forward. So no surprise that in the second half, right from the start, I think it was like the third, fourth time he made that same run. Finally punished us. Great finish. And, that's Federico Chiesa. That is a very good player. But, just feeling like we kind of wasted that first 45 minutes. Just constantly playing in front of Juventus, not creating really any threat whatsoever. We looked a little tidy for the first 20 minutes of the first half. After that, we looked quite shoddy. And Juventus ended by, being the stronger and the better team, but as I was saying in that second half, man, from the moment we conceded, I felt like, that's kind of it. To be honest, I've seen these games a million times before, but credit to Tuchel, he tried to make things different. He tried to find some new solutions. Of course, when you have the luxury of having more subs in the Champions League, of course, he took advantage of that today. And a part of me felt like it slightly felt a little bit desperate. And I'm just thinking, okay, we need to have a backup system to work upon. We have talent here. We've got players here that were signed to play a certain style of football, a different style of football that they can't do. At all. The conversations surrounding Kai Havertz, they will continue. Personally, and again, for me, it's a conversation point. There's no right or wrong answers, but I just felt like that plan of having Kai as like that, false number 8 in a sense where, that balance of being involved in the game, seeing those great passes in behind, we're not seeing those classic Kai passes no more. And of course, having the ability to time his run inside the box as well. For me, I felt like I can see a guy developing, getting bigger, improving his defensive game and being like that, the guy that really leads the team. But right now, we're not really seeing that. And personally, I think it's a system. I think, for being absolutely brutally honest, it's a system that has always really benefited mainly our three centre backs and the wing backs, and of course our midfield players and your Jorginhos, etc. And in a lot of games that will work, but in games like this from the opposition, don't care about having the ball. It's not the first time we've seen results like this, and it will continue to happen until we start to do things differently, you guys. second half, we created some opportunities in the end. As I was saying earlier, credit to Tuchel through desperation. He tried to make things happen. Was taking off players. Trevor Chalobah came on playing midfield. I thought he was moving the ball quite well out from the back for sure. Loftus-Cheek coming on, and I'm sorry, instantly having an impact on our game. The guy's just like a midfield line breaker, and just those little passes between the lines that we were missing. He was bringing that. How he positions his body to receive the ball just on the shoulder of his man. Getting ready to receive it and turn on the half spin. That's the details that great players bring, and that's how they create things in tight games like this. But for me, I felt like George and Kovac today just weren't at it at all. They were constantly forced to playing passes in the middle, and credit to Juventus, and it's like they knew exactly who they're going to target and how they're going to affect us. 3-4 breakaways from passes that just got snuffed out right in the middle, and they came courtesy of Kovac. For me, it was a poor game, and for me, it's the quality. I'm looking at the quality. I don't care about the quantity. Big moments, he was getting it wrong. How many times was he getting opportunities outside the box? For me, the fact that he still hasn't improved in his shooting outside the box or looks to try and, work on that side of his game, that's a bit disappointing to me. I'm not going to lie, because for how he plays, he constantly has that luxury and does nothing with it. Constantly tepid from taking the shots that were being created for him and doing nothing with that. And on top of that too, not really doing nothing with his passing. For me, and I'm just saying it straight, and you guys know me, I don't care, but it will not surprise me if Ruben finds himself as a first-team player soon in this team at all. At all, yeah. It really is that simple. Yeah, it was poor from him, and but you don't have N'Golo Kante, and again, when you don't address that area properly, you can have long-term issues that can come. Of course, I'm a fan too when I watch these games, and it's like reaction. I feel a motive. I'm not that happy. I'm a bit, I'm a bit pissed, and it's an opportunity for me to, just vent at what I've been seeing. But this doesn't mean that, I hate Thomas Tuchel. I hate the players. I'm against them. The Champions League means nothing. Not at all. Of course, everything's just applied to the context of the game we saw tonight. But for me, man, I don't like seeing things that I feel could be preventable if solutions were being worked on to try and improve on them. You know what I mean? Some dangerous chances came too from Kai Havertz that should have been a lot better. But as I'm saying, how often is he even in the box to even consistently score from anything? And then, of course, Lukaku had a great opportunity near the end to, listen, in a different game earlier during the season, that's on target, that's in the back of the net. But again, he's looking quite limited because who's he really playing with? I want to see Lukaku drifting out wide to the right at times, cutting inside, interchanging with Kai. I thought that was the point of Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? He can slot in tactically when you want to play more fluids, and we're not seeing that. So let's hope that Tuchel, who's a very smart guy and a very intelligent guy, I'm sure he's going to be looking at things, hopefully find solutions. Interesting to see how we ended the game, and could we potentially be seeing more for the back systems depending on, different opposition we play against. Back three still has a place here, but for me, it's a big game tactic. If you're playing against teams that don't want to press or progress or shift their blocks, you have to have something different. And I think having three at the back doesn't do anything because, yeah, we can easily play through these teams out from the back, but getting in the final thirds, everything's snuffed out. So you guys, on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.